Hi, welcome to this week's episode of NEIU Happy Hour with Karina Camacho. That is me. I am your host. I hope you have your coffee, your tea, your Gatorade, your water. Get hydrated, drink something. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're not stressed during traffic if you're listening to this in your car or on the bus. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I have a very exciting episode for you guys this week. This week's episode, I had the honor of sitting down with NEIU's president, Gloria Gibson. This is an interview that was on my dream list. I said, if I can, I would love to be able to talk to her for a little bit and interview her. I didn't think that I was going to be given the opportunity to, just because I know that her role requires for her to have a lot of meetings. She has, so many things to do and agendas, but I reached out to her office and we were able to arrange something, and I was so happy to hear that she was willing to sit down with me and have a conversation, and she was so pleasant and so nice to talk to. So I won't keep the intro too long because I think her story is way more interesting. So without further ado, President Gloria Gibson.
Dr. Gibson, this is Karina.
Hi.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Come on in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for meeting with me.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you for finding time to meet with me. I know you're a busy lady and busy schedule.
No problem. I'm happy to be here today with Karina and to do an interview.
Thank you. So President Gloria Gibson, what do you like most about NEIU?
It always has to be the students. I've been in education for over 30 years at several institutions, and by far it's always the students. It is the passion that students have for learning. It is helping them to make decisions on their career pathways. And it's the exuberance that students have that keeps me motivated as a professional. So first and foremost, I love the students here at Northeastern. We have such a diverse campus, one of the most diverse campuses, certainly in Illinois, in the region, and in the United States. And as an HSI, it is very important that we are serving the students and families and communities here in Chicagoland, with about 38% Latino students, 10% African American, about 9% Asian American, many first generation students. We're kind of half and half, part-time, full-time students. So we have a vast variety of students here at Northeastern. And so the diversity is really a very strong reason why I wanted to come to Northeastern.
What would be a message that you would want to send to the students?
Yeah, so since we have a lot of first generation students, I would say my message would be perseverance. And we all have good days and not so good days, and I realize that our students have a lot on their plates. Some of them have families, some of them are working one job, two jobs, some of them have food insecurity, housing insecurity. So our students have challenges, but as a student, you are investing in your future. And so the university is here to serve students, and it's certainly something that I feel is very important, not to just let students come in and kind of say, okay, we'll find your way, but to make sure that faculty and staff, administrators, are assisting in every way that they possibly can so that students are successful.
In your inauguration speech in 2018, you mentioned that you had a financial struggle while you were raising two sons and obtaining your undergrad. How do you reflect on those times now that you sit as president of a university?
Well, I must say It was perseverance, but it was also having the support of my family, my friends, my faculty. But it was not easy. It's not easy when you have a family and when you're going to school full time and you're working. It's a lot. But I don't think that I'm special in that way. There's so many students that have done that and continue to do that. But it is having a level of self-confidence and having that support and believing in yourself and having, what sometimes people call grit. Having that something on the inside where you've got to do it, you've got to overcome. And I think if you have that on the inside, you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah. Maybe it's the Midwest in us.
Yeah. Could be.
I came across a story that your mother completed her undergrad at 78 years old.
Yes.
How much of that was your influence?
I would say partially, but my mom always wanted to go back to school. So she, as many families, she migrated from the south to the north to have a better life, and my father did the same thing. He migrated from Mississippi, she migrated from Alabama. They met and they, had these three children, and what was most important to her was that she was a stay-at-home mom to take care of her kids. But she had a dream of getting an education. And then so she saw all of us go through and get our education, and she helped us any way that she could. And then she got to a point where she said, I think I can do this for myself. And she had to start all the way back in getting a GED. So she got her GED, then she got her associates, and then she was, just elated. And so we all were when she got her bachelor's degree. So you're never too old, you're never too young. Education is a life changer. It transforms one's life, and as I said earlier, it is an investment in the future. So I would say again, if my mom could do it, others can do it as well. So don't ever think I'm too old to go back to school. You're never too old.
Yes. So you were vice president at Morgan State in Baltimore, Maryland, one of the largest historically black college universities in Maryland, and then transitioning here to NEIU, who serves a large Latino students and other diverse student body. Was there any kind of transition period for you or learning curve?
I would say when you go to a new institution, there's always going to be a learning curve, because even though there may be similarities in universities, each university is unique in that it has its own culture. And so it's a matter of learning and understanding the culture here at Northeastern. But clearly, when I look at a historically black university and a Hispanic serving institution, there are some commonalities. There are a lot of students where this is their first university. They are first generation. They are very tied to their families. So there's some commonalities, but I think you have to take certain things that you learn from each experience, and that sort of feeds into the next experience and feeds into the next experience, but then also understanding that each institution is unique in its very own special way.
In a recent email that was sent by the office in January 14th of this year, it stated some of the updates that the university is planning. Housing for the nest is something that was mentioned. What are some ways you plan to cover the cost of the nest?
Yes, so one of the challenges that I face, the university faces is the fact that we do not have the residency that we need in the nest. And so with that contract, there was a requirement for each year of the residency requirements. So the almost 2 years that I've been here, we have not met that residency requirement, which means that we have to pay additional funds to meet that debt service. And so, this is public knowledge. Last year it was close to $2 million. This year it will also be close to $2 million. For fall of 2020, we are going to offer a discounted rate for students. It's not a huge discount, but it is a discount. We're calling it a grant that we're going to give students, and it will help with the gap. So for some students, the amount of financial aid and scholarships and housing, it doesn't cover everything. And so then there's this gap, and then students have to make a decision, well, if I owe an additional, let's say $2,000 or $3,000, how am I going to pay that? Am I working? Am I going to make enough money to do that? So what we're hoping by offering these grants is that it will reduce the amount of money that students will have to pay. So then maybe we can entice more students to stay in the nest. Mm-hmm. So that's one incentive that we're going to start for fall. We're also looking at summer programs in the nest, because that will generate some additional revenue. So summer camps, athletic camps, music camps, conferences. So we need to make better use of the nest during the summer. One other thing we did to try to entice more students is that previously we only offered 12-month contracts. Well, a lot of students want to work during the summer full time. They don't want to be tied to a lease. They want to go home, live with their parents. And so now we're offering that 12-month still, but if students want, they can get a 10-month lease. And so again, that will take the price down and hopefully make it more affordable for students.
Okay. What are some ways that students can connect with you?
A lot of ways. I mean, it is a great day when I can interact with students because I have meeting after meeting after meeting. So whenever I can meet students, it's really very good. I have tried to meet with our SGA president, Melanie Glover, and our student trustee, Fatima Seguiqua. I try to meet with them monthly so that they can sort of give me the big picture of what some of the issues are that may be challenges for students. I also try to attend at least once a month the SGA meetings, and I've done that this semester. I've been to I think I've been to 2 SGA meetings. Again, it gives an opportunity for me to meet our student senators and the students who are, they are the governance body for students, and to understand again what those issues are that students are facing. So I have done that. I go to as many student activities as I can when students are performing in concerts or giving talks or conferences. I really love to do that. And just walking through Village Square, talking with students and asking them how they're doing. One of the things I always say to students is, you have that 4.0 GPA, and that always gets a little gets a little chuckle, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it." And but again, to be encouraging to students, so just various activities. I think that in order to be an effective president, I have to have those interactions with students. And it's not that I'm in a classroom with students, because I don't teach anymore, but it's coming up with other ways so that, students are my largest constituency group. So I need to make sure that I have those channels of communication open. I also have office hours once a month, and it's for anybody. It's for faculty, staff. It's for students too. So students can come to the open office hours and ask questions, get more information about issues. So in various ways, I try to be visible so students know their president, and then find opportunities where I can interact with students.
Yeah, I love that you have open office hours.
Yes.
It's Black History Month, and your story is so inspirational to me as a first-generation student, hopefully graduate soon in May, and as a woman of color. You were the first Black president of the university in the entire history of the university. What is some advice that you would share with other women of color who aim to be successful in their careers?
Yes. And did you say first Black woman president? Because
Yes.
we did have a Black male president.
First Black woman president.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So first,
She's like, give me my credit where my credit is due.
Right. I must say, first and foremost, I'm very proud. I'm very proud to serve this institution, and I hope that I can be a role model for other women of color, for all women, for all students. As you know, you've done your homework very well. I grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois. So I am from Illinois. I'm an Illinois native. I love my state. My state has some challenges, but most states do. So my environment growing up was economically challenged, and many students face that today. They're coming here from economically challenged neighborhoods. And if students can see that, not only did I graduate from high school, I got my bachelor's, I got my master's, I got my PhD. So as far as education, I was able to be successful, but then to use that to fulfill my dream and my passion of education. And so then I was an assistant professor, I was an associate professor, a full professor, a dean, a vice president, and now president. And again, I'm not special. If I can do it, others can do it. So that's my message. What is your dream? And if you don't have a dream, then get a mentor, because a mentor can help you sort of envision your future, and then just go after your dream, whatever that might be.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you so much for meeting with me on this windy Tuesday, kind of gloomy out, but I appreciate you making time for me. Thank you so much. You have no idea, this means a lot to me. Thank you so
thank
much.
you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you. This kind of picture, but then maybe a picture with you.
With
actually
the equipment?
Yeah. Where do you want us?
Um,
And this might end up on my Instagram. Is
That's
that
good,
okay?
yeah.
Okay.
You want to drop your Instagram handle? That concludes this week's episode of NEIU Happy Hour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to President Gloria Gibson and her team for being able to arrange a time to sit down and talk to me. Her story is so inspirational to me. And if you guys want to keep up with when a new episode airs, Please follow me on my social media. My Instagram is NEIU Happy Hour. My SoundCloud account is NEIU Happy Hour. And you can also follow my blog, neiuhappyhour.wordpress.com. It gives more information and other tidbits that I didn't include in the episode. So if you wanted some extras, I definitely recommend checking them out. Don't be afraid to hit that like button or comment. I respond to everything, even if you want to privately message me. If you have any questions, hit me up. I am more than happy to interact with you guys. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.